Let's use your original. Hello, hi everyone.
Yeah, okay. Let me see if it works today. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Hey guys, sorry about the.
Okay, there we are. Aloha.
Hey guys, welcome to the Typical Skeptic podcast, and along with the Pink Bella Aloha podcast today. I hope everybody's having a good day. Sorry about the tech issues. But we're going to have a really good show today. Today, we're going to be talking about the total solar eclipse. We're going to be talking about CERN, the Devil's Comet, the incident at the Baltimore Bridge. So it's going to be really interesting to the best of what we know,
Yeah.
and we're going to be pulling cards on all of it too. And then we'll do like some galactic Akashic readings too. I got the Cash App. Someone sent me a small Cash App for a twin flame reading. I got that. I'll read it. And Pink Bella, maybe if you can remind me, like,
Okay. Yeah. No worries. I'm writing it down. It's all good.
okay, yeah, it was. Let me see who what. I'll look real quick. While we're looking here. I don't have it open, but oh, it was. Wait, I just want to Kathleen Haley.
Okay.
I'll keep it up on my phone so I don't forget. Thank you, Kathleen. And yeah, and we'll get to you towards the end. We'll do that. After we get through all the topics and everything. And I just want to welcome my guest today that I have with me, the amazing Pink Bell Aloha. She's a certified healer and multidimensional light body practitioner, certified quantum and galactic Akashic records practitioner, certified USUI Reiki master, teacher, and practitioner, certified crystal and 12 to 22 chakra instructor and practitioner, quantum Akashic readings, records, and clearings, and a life and personal empowerment coach. And she also does pet communication as well, and she also does like implants, seals, J tags, or J tags and seals. Oh no, tags and JSEALS. Sorry, I always get that messed up. And she always does pet communication too, and house clearing. So with all that said, I'll give her a big warm welcome to the show. Pink Bella, thanks for coming back on. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for having me today. Aloha, everyone. Yes, we were having some tech issues. Thank you, Mercury retrograde. But we are here.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great show.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun. A lot of crazy stuff going on, a lot of crazy, interesting stuff to talk about. I love when we have shows like this because there's a lot brewing, I mean, with that bridge, I mean, that was crazy. You know what I mean?
If we want, we can start there. I was just letting Rob know what I did for our topics today was I just pulled a couple of tarot messages just to get some key words from the Earth Alliance. So to kind of alleviate any attention with what is going on. And I don't know if Rob, if you know this or if others of you know this, but besides the bridge in Baltimore, there's been a couple of other incidences around the planet. There was also one in Turkey. I believe there was another one in your country as well. I just can't remember exactly where it was. So I noticed right away there was a pattern. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is my understanding is, I mean, I just looked at the footage. Rob, I don't know if you had looked at the footage, but to me, it didn't look like an accident. It looked like kind of like a weird movie. It was like, it's like I think what's happening is we're watching the movie now. We're in the movie and we're watching like a lot of the things that they're sharing in the news on the movie. So apparently there was nobody on board that ship and it was remote controlled to do what it needed to do at that time. And there's also some footage where there's some things that went off at the same time at different parts of the bridge to help it collapse that way. So yeah.
I mean, it seems to me like it was like a planned attack. I mean, people are saying it was China. You know what I mean? Like it could have been. Because that's the most important port. It's one of the most important ports in America. They're calling it like a,
interesting.
But it's not. I don't want to blame it on China, but they are missing 2 minutes from the camera somehow mysteriously. Yeah. They're missing 2 minutes from the black box footage.
How about we look at like we got the good guys and the bad guys? And how about if we look at like what I was getting when I pulled all the cards is it's a bigger thing going on than just our countries. It's back to that, like, we've got this intergalactic and galactic battle going on for planet Earth.
Yeah.
So yeah, so part of all these events that are happening. So basically, what I was getting was that the movie is really accelerating. So that's why so much is happening every day now. Like, and isn't it interesting that it's all happening like as we head towards the eclipse? So people are getting all stressed out about the eclipse as well because it feels like everything is really accelerating. But what I want to share with you is I'll just show one of the cards and the words, and then we can pull some more cards. So I got the Two of Pentacles, and I don't know if you all can see. There's water and ships on this card. Like, that's crazy, right? I don't know all the images and all the cards. Like, that's just not even normal. What I found for all of the topics today, the theme was Pentacles, which is about money. And the other thing that I heard was the commodity is Earth. The battle is for Earth.
That
So
makes sense.
the
Yeah.
beings that are here that want to keep it, that love creating this drama, like they love creating all of this stuff to loosh off of us so that we're in fear, we're in trauma, we're in stress. But then what they were sharing with me. Now, what did I write down about the Two of Pentacles? Oh, I also got the Two of Pentacles, which Pentacles is about money, the Chariot, and I noticed, like I said, there were ships on water there, money, and what the Galactics were letting me know is that the 3D movie is moving along. I also got the Devil card for that as well. So that was just to confirm that it wasn't like an alliance or a white hat operation like some people maybe are thinking about. It was actually like a planned scenario to take that out. Now, thankfully, there weren't, again, YouTube, this is just for entertainment purposes only, but thankfully it wasn't in the middle of the day when a lot of people use that bridge. Like, there wasn't a lot of traffic on the bridge at the time. So that was good. But the other pattern is, I think, so we talked about the DEW attacks, and we've been talking about that since last year. I feel like this is another aspect now of part of the galactic battle is the targeting is main arteries to prevent things from moving forward, like preventing people from getting goods and causing disruptions, that kind of thing. So yeah, and I did get like the Chariot, and the Chariot card is about fast movement for sure. So have you watched any footage? Like, what do you feel about it, Rob?
I think it was definitely deliberately, like the fact that they can't account for 2 minutes of like the black box recording is like
I'm laughing because I heard somebody say like all the conspiracy theories are now true. That's why I'm laughing, right? It's like, we know if video footage is missing, that there was something important there that got deleted, right?
Yeah, and then my friend was telling me last night. I know you said the ship was automatic. It was automatically thing, but he said like even if the ship would have lost power, he said the steering doesn't lose power. That's one thing my friend told me. He said so like it was definitely deliberate. It was definitely deliberate. It was it's just by who was it and like I mean, I don't know, it's a, and it's so funny, like how nobody that like addressed it, they're looking to just move right past it, like an enormous bridge collapse. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
It's crazy.
I had one of my Starseed clients. She had a dream about a bridge collapsing a few days before it happened, and she had no idea that it had happened because she doesn't watch the news. So we were all on a group call, and she shared this dream. So it was the same thing with 9/11. A lot of people had prophetic dreams as well. So it's not to instill fear, but I guess we just have to constantly check in with our intuition about going certain ways or taking certain pathways, right? Because there's always sort of like there's something going on in the background. I just pulled some extra cards, and I got kind of the same message. I got 10 of Wands, which is the movies moving forward really, really quickly, and that some of these events are I got the Strength card, which is the Leo energy. Some of the events are to push the regular folks to start questioning everything. Okay. So the regular folks are going to be like, why are there like now all of a sudden there's all these things going on with bridges, like, that kind of thing. And then we have the Six of Wands. That's interesting. Wands is about fire, and we're in Aries right now, which is about fire energy. So that's victory. So it is like the battle is ongoing, but there's victory in coming. Right. And I think part of it is my understanding with the eclipse is that it has the potential to really awaken more souls quickly, like within the next 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like time's speeding up too. I think we talked about that too. Like it seems like
it's already April. Like,
yeah,
right? Yeah, it's just crazy. And I have regular people that I go out and do errands with, are going like, we can't believe it's April. Like, where's time going? It's just flying by, right? So I don't know if, I just didn't know if you had known anything about it, but apparently I feel like that bridge was, of course, one of the most important ports. And I feel like there's a lot of activity around that bridge, that it was being used for many, many things that weren't like for the best. That's why I got the devil card originally.
yeah,
So
that's a good point.
Like a lot of things were being transported in and out of that port. So you and I both know, like supply wise, okay, that's going to be inconvenient for some people, but there's other ways for us as humans to get resources, right? Like there's other ways that they can bring things in as well. But I feel like there was also the potential of they needed to stop some other kind of movements in that area.
Like a human trafficking or something like that.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if we were allowed to say that because I know this channel is like G-rated. So
Well, I mean, if it wasn't so targeted, it wouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like I have to put everything on Rumble, that otherwise I get a strike. Like it's unfortunate that nobody else gets strikes, but I get strikes all the time. So it's
we're wrapping everything in light today, that whatever we share just gets put out there. I agree with you. Like I feel like, and it's not fun, but the thing is that you bring forward a lot of super deep information from a lot of different people. So that can be threatening as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not fair. I don't even want to get into it because it's like it stresses me out, the whole censorship thing. You know what I mean? Because I hear people talking about certain things that like I'm not allowed to talk about on my channel, but like there's other people blasting it out on YouTube, but they don't get strikes. I don't understand it.
I don't either. They must have extra protection. I agree with you, but I will have to say, there aren't as many souls as there used to be, Rob. Like since 2020, a lot of people have been taken off YouTube. So there just seems to be a couple of selective people that are still hanging around, and they do seem to be able to say things. But I also know that I do know a couple of people that have had strikes and get taken off for like a week or so. But they've also got like their stuff on their own website as well. So yeah. So not to take it personally. You're doing your job. If anything gets sort of brought up. But anyway, I don't know if there's anything else that we wanted to share about that.
I don't know. Did anybody have any questions about the bridge, or does anybody have anything they want to share about the bridge that you think is important, like that you want us to go over?
I think to me, the message I was getting is that it's part of the galactic battle. Like we've been looking just at fires, and now they're starting to look and target certain areas. But the main message I got, and we'll get into the other topics as well, the main message I got is the Galactics and the Intergalactics and the Earth Alliance are very aware of what's going on. And they won't allow, it's like they diffuse things. They're able to diffuse things in certain ways, like change times and timelines. And in other words, like try and make, if an event's going down and they're trying to intervene, they'll dismantle things like rockets, or they will make sure that something doesn't happen during the day. They're doing the best that they can to kind of intervene in that way. Just to let everybody know.
Just a real quick, Howie Snyder, thank you for telling me that. I'm friends with Arkeem, but he didn't tell me he was taken off YouTube. I just found that out. So Arkeem Ra was now just taken off YouTube. So now that's 3 of my friends. So Journey the Truther has been taken off YouTube, but they restarted a channel. Forbidden Knowledge News has been taken off of YouTube, and now Arkeem Ra has been taken off of YouTube. So it's probably just a matter of time. Like
Well, I
it's like,
think, and that's why you've got your backup channels, and like we just prepare for that. And I think I've known since since 2020 when David Light got taken off. I've known that they will go through periods where they're targeting certain individuals, but we all know, like everybody knows, to go to Rumble. You've got lots of other channels, right? So it's
That's
not like it's not fun, but there's a potential of we understand, and we understand that we may all have to shift to something if that happens, and that's okay. That's okay. It's all good.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay. So, one of the two things that you wanted to talk about today that I find really interesting. Well, everything that I wrote, all the topics you came up with today are super interesting.
Yeah.
Especially the next three are the solar eclipse, CERN, and the Devil's Comet, because people
Yeah.
are freaking out about this
I
eclipse,
know.
man.
I
I'm
know.
supposed to go to I might be going to an observatory park. And I
Oh,
might be
cool.
filming it. So
Oh,
there's like
that
an
would be awesome.
observatory park here. My friend contacted me and she said, like we should go, check it out. And she's like, you could film it for your channel. I was like, I don't know if it's going to be any better at the observatory park, but I'm open to it. You know what I mean? Especially if I can get good footage for the channel. I might think about doing that.
I think what would be cool about that, Rob, is one, you have no fear, like me. So you have no fear. You're like, even with all this stuff going on, if that's what you want to do, you should do it. Like, right? It's fine.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is that my big question is, why are they making such a big deal out of this one? We just had one in October, right? So there wasn't all this like national, guards being called out and states of emergency, because there's states of emergency, like in Texas, some of the other states, also Canada, which we've never had before. So that's just, I'm giggling because I'm thinking, why are they trying to create such fear? So when they create such fear, that's Loosh. We all know that. So that's the other off-planet beings that are feeding off of us. And the other thing is that I think there's going to be some really interesting things that are going to be happening that they don't want us to see. Like, I think there's potential for a lot of us seeing a lot of ships and a lot of things going on.
Yeah, that's a good point. Also, on the more evil end, always look for the problem reaction solution. You mentioned David Icke, so that makes me think that they're going to try to create a problem, then they'll come up with this solution, and it'll be all based around this eclipse somehow. But I don't want to feed into that. Like, I'd rather go about my day and just like, you know what I mean?
That's why we want to have this discussion today. So absolutely, if anything you guys hear or read brings up fear, turn it off. Like, shut it down. Don't feed into it. Don't share it. Don't buy into it. Follow your intuition that day. So for me, I'm not gonna go outside because I have a cat, which is my kid. So a lot of parents are feeling like if their schools are closed, they're going to be home with their kids, and they might go out. They might go out and watch it, or they might not, right? Like the normal folks are just excited that there's an eclipse, and a lot of people don't even know there is one. Like, so like we're like this. They want to confuse this community. They want to confuse all of the star seeds and the light workers and get everybody stressed out. So the thing is that follow your intuition that day. So if I didn't have a cat and it's probably going to be overcast because it always is here in Vancouver when we have some kind of eclipse, but do what you're guided to do. Like meditate, go to nature, or just stay in until it's over. So it's going to be, I didn't look at times all across the board, but I'm on PST time zone. It's going to be between 11 a.m. and about 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon. PST, just to let everybody know. So just check your time zones. And it's really only going to be like big for about 6 to 7 minutes. But we've got this potential of like the build up to it. And then then the sun and the moon kind of separating. So but the potential for it to be dark in the middle of the day for 6 to 7 minutes. Not really dark like twilight.
And so my friend told me that it crisscrosses with the other eclipse from 2017. Is that true?
It is true. And I meant to send you an image about that. I apologize about that. Yes, it does. And I believe it crisscrosses. I could be wrong. Somebody else, maybe I think it's Illinois. Keep talking and let me just see and let me just look, because I've got an image here somewhere.
And by the way, guys, I'm going to have another show tonight about the eclipse. I have Navia ALOHA. She wants to come on and talk about the astrology angle from the eclipse. So we're going to be talking about that tonight. So that's just a little different spin, but you know what I mean? It's like, it's all information, so it's like, I mean, we'll see. I don't.
My image is just,
I just think it's another day. You know, I look at everything like that. I never have any fear on these things, like where they tell us to, like, you know, like do all this stuff, and I'm like, no, man. You know, like I've seen the world go on. I don't want to eat my words and something really bad happen. You know what I mean? But like, I just think,
well,
like,
that's
you know,
why I'm
like,
letting everybody know to follow your intuition. So I have other people that have kids, and their school's going to be closed, so they're just going to keep their kids home.
yeah.
And that's cool, right? It's just for a couple of hours. Other people, you might be called, like Rob, to go out and experience the energy. We're going to need some truthers out there letting us know what's going on, right? Because other than that, let's say a lot of the cities, it's conveniently overcast, right? Overcast. So then what are they going to do? They're going to tell everybody to watch it on TV, on the NASA footage. Well, how do we know if that's real?
Yeah, so if I can get good footage from an observatory park here in Pittsburgh, then, you know, that might be beneficial to everybody, you know? So I'm going to actually try to get a hold of my friend and see if she still wants to do that, so I can get some good footage for you guys.
Yeah.
And I'll try to get the whole thing, you know? Like I'll send
this to you later. That's where the crisscross is. And it looks like it is near Kentucky, Missouri, Tennessee. So it looks like it's mainly in Missouri. But I'm not sure what the town is. So that's interesting. Yeah. So that's the crisscross from the August 21st, 2017 eclipse, which, by the way, was the very first time I started to understand what eclipses were. So wow. I feel like we'd all been besides all the hoopla that's going on, which we know is a smokescreen, like they're creating so much drama around this one, right? It's just bizarre. So to me, that smokescreen is to create so much potential noise that we don't actually see the real thing. We don't actually get to see what's really going on, right? So yeah, anyway, I'll send that image to you later, Robert. The August 2017 one, I started to feel it after the Lionsgate. I started to feel like this incredible, like everything's speeding up and we're going through this huge gateway. And I actually I jumped timelines that day. I got to pack up my car and move that day. And that's what I did after the eclipse. But the thing is that I felt it for the first time and I started to pay attention to it after that. And I'll tell you what, the big piece of news about this eclipse is everyone set your intentions and as well for the collective, because it's a quantum timeline jump. It's a shift in realities. Because I physically changed realities that day. So that was me shifting into a new timeline, like physically packing up my car and going somewhere. But everything changed after that, including, I'll just use this individual's name. Doreen Virtue was completely different after that. That's what she actually released later. She released a video that day. She was the original angel card lady from yeah. So I didn't know, but 2 weeks later she released a video that day saying she denounced everything that she had created and she no longer believed in it on that day.
Well,
then she was different. Then she was different after that. Like she was never the same after that. And I was like, whoa, you know, that was
That's it. That's so interesting. So okay. What I wanted to talk to you about, I think this would be a good thing, is like, to change our reality during this solar eclipse. Like, should we set intentions, or should we be meditating, or is there things we can do? Do you think to like set a different reality in motion? Like, what do you think?
I'm definitely feeling, because I've been seeing so much panic on all the Telegram groups as well. So definitely set your own personal intentions. On the day, we should already have set our intentions, like before that day comes. So set everything up before, like on the 7th, and then just surrender to the universe, but set prayers and intentions for our collective, that we all move to the next collective timeline where everybody is supported. Like, you know, like, let's dream big. Poverty's gone. Everyone has abundance. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's use this as a collective timeline shift, because the next solar eclipse that goes over North America is not till 2044. So this, to me, I feel like all the hoopla is to get us all stressed out so that we're not focused enough as a group to set these intentions for us all to use it as a quantum timeline shift, because I feel like that's why it's been set up for us. So on one hand, it's a cosmic event, but on the other hand, if you think about that we're in the matrix and things are sort of unfolding in a movie, this is also part of it. The Galactics kind of let me know that they're using this to help us. They're using this portal to help us, and they're using it to step in. These are the alliance groups of the light, right? So they're using it to step in and help humanity move everything forward. in a positive
Wow.
way. Yeah. Have you heard anything about like that the sun has gotten bigger and that there's something behind the sun?
No, I haven't. What do you
Okay.
think is what do you think's going on
Well,
with
I
that?
haven't done it. I'm going to do a deep dive about it later today, but I feel so this is what I've known since 2012, that we are evolving, we're ascending, we're expanding, we're waking up, we're receiving our abilities back, like third eye abilities, all of that. Many of us have received it ahead of time before the collective, like to help the collective, to help ourselves, and also to move through ego stuff, right? Like everybody's having to shed these layers of ego that have been programmed into us for thousands of years. So there's that going on. So part of what I read, because this is before the internet, was our whole galaxy is moving into the photon belt. So that has been, and that's moving us closer to the great central sun and the Sirius star system, and we're receiving more light codes. So on the dark side wants to say that the dark planet Nibiru is behind the sun, and that they're targeting us. And I pulled cards about it because I've been sun gazing the last maybe 2 months. I started sun gazing again. No, the energy is beautiful. Like, it's fantastic. We're receiving our upgrades. And I asked what was behind the sun, and I heard that we are in alignment with the great central sun right now of the Sirius star system, and that we're close enough that they're really pushing it through, which makes sense. That's why we have so many solar flares. We've had so many intense solar flares since January, and they're here. Like this whole, if we think about time, which is not linear, but we're living in a reality where it's linear. But they've all known. A lot of souls have known about this date for a long time. So they've known, like, which is why we're going to talk about CERN and NASA, about why they're doing some strange stuff on that day too.
Yeah, Derek. I got to thank my friend Derek Galloway. I can read it. Let me pull up his text. Let me see. I'll read it. What he sent. Let me read you exactly. So okay. I wish I could. Well, this is my text from. Thank you,
Okay.
Derek. By the
Thanks,
way,
Derek.
Derek,
Thank you.
and Derek says. This is what it says. NASA plans to launch rockets during the eclipse to study the sun's corona, the opportunity presented by the eclipse that allows for detailed observations of the sun magnetic fields and other phenomena. Then similarly, CERN plans to operate the Large Hadron Collider, the world's most powerful particle accelerator, during the eclipse. This will enable scientists to explore the effects of eclipse on particle behavior, potentially leading to breakthroughs in understanding the universe's fundamental forces. You know what I smell with both of those? I smell a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, because who knows what they're really going to do, right? Like
Yeah.
NASA, never a straight answer, and CERN, I don't know what I should have a nickname for them, but I mean, like, I'm sure they're up to bullshit as well. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I don't trust them for 1 second.
No. So I pulled some cards about it. So first off, I just to look at the solar eclipse again. So I pulled cards just around that, because another beautiful soul, so she's been hearing these crazy conspiracy theories that the path of totality, where the solar eclipse is going through the US and Canada, that there's going to be like bizarre toxins released to harm everybody. So this is to alleviate that. So all that kind of stuff, don't pay attention to it. It's all a smokescreen, everyone. It's getting you all twisted up. Shut it off and start meditating and setting intentions and getting grounded and staying at peace. So I just pulled, and then I'll move on to CERN and NASA. Okay. So I just pulled cards about the solar eclipse, and I got the 5 of Swords, which is, and I'll pull some other ones too, but I got the 5 of Swords, which is someone thinking that they're getting away with something, and it's about a battle. So the other team, we'll just call them the dark team, that they think they're getting away with something. And I got the King of Pentacles. It's about money, and the Galactic said it's about the battle for the planet. So it is a huge event, not just for us. It's a huge event for the alliances as well. But what they shared with me is they are absolutely aware of everything that is potentially supposed to happen that day, and they're going to diffuse whatever is not for the highest good of humanity. Okay. So I just pulled one card. I got the 10 of Swords. So this is what they're creating. They're creating all this anxiety and stress, right? And it's a lie. It's a lie. So I just wanted to share that. But I got battle for the planet. Now, CERN is interesting. Quantum mechanics, it creates black holes, all sorts of things, right? So apparently it's the one, and we're thinking about the main one. I guess there's a few of them around the planet. There's a main one in Switzerland, I think, in Geneva. So it's been up and running for a little bit, but they're trying to create a black hole. They're trying to collapse the timelines. They're trying to mess with our potential of moving into a higher timeline, okay? The Galactic said to me, it's disabled. They've already disabled it. So what they're telling us in the media is not correct. Also got the 7 of Swords, which again, the battle is going on. And the 7 of Swords, I'll pull something else, but the 7 of Swords is like somebody walking ahead but looking backwards at another timeline. I also heard that the plan was for a lot of the Team D members that are stuck down here. They're trying to find a way home and get off the planet. So that was their other plan, to use this. So basically what an eclipse is it's a portal. It's a gateway for all sorts of things.
Kriya Vine says her birthday is April 8th. That's
I love that.
Happy birthday, Kriya. But like, I mean, I hope you get to enjoy it. I mean, I'm sure it'll be a really interesting day. You know,
I think so too. I think so. I also got the Fool card, it's a 0 reset point. So it's, you know how that, so if we think about that X, so it's like, it's that 2 pathways of like, we can all go this way to a higher frequency, and the other people that want to play in the dark, they can be moved elsewhere. So it's a very high frequency day of potential. But yeah, CERN, the Galactic said to me, is disabled. What they're telling me is, what they're telling us all is incorrect. It's just to freak everybody out. And I just pulled the Ace of Swords. So that's like, well, that's the sword of light, right? That's for us Jedis. So like, I feel like we're getting more resources. We're getting more alliance resources to come in to help us. That's why the filming would be super cool, because I bet you're going to see some ships coming out of the sun.
That's what I'm hoping to get. I'm hoping to get some. I never thought about that. Like, you know, because at first I was like, why would I want to go film the eclipse? And I was like, well, I might as well do it, you know, and see if I can catch some.
Well, because you're a documentary. You're documenting a really powerful point in time, because we're not going to have another one until 2044. So This is it, right? Yeah. And the NASA rockets, really? I was like, really? They're going to allow like rockets to be shot into the sun during an eclipse? Like,
do we have to wear the glasses? Is that just like bullshit?
I don't think so. I think it's not correct. But I think you have to follow your intuition that day as well, right?
Yeah.
Intuition. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like the glasses, I don't know. To me, we have a very powerful opportunity to upgrade our third eye that day as well. Whether we can see it or not, we're still receiving the codes anyway. So, you know, you might, depending on what the weather's like where you are, Rob, and what's going on, you may end up wearing some sunglasses or something. So it's all good. So the NASA, oh yeah, that's interesting. So I was right away, I'm going, really? Like, they're going to be allowed to do this? Like, to send rockets into the sun during an eclipse? Like, wouldn't that create kind of a problem? You know, just thinking about the energy and messing everything up. And like, why did they choose this one? Why are they doing this one? Why didn't they do the one last year? Or, you know what I mean? So that's super interesting to me. And what did I receive? I received, it's just, I didn't even get a card. I got the 0 reset for that. Sorry. The Fool card, and the Tower for that agency, which means they're going to crumble.
Wow.
So the truth is going to come out about them as well. And apparently all 3 rockets are named after dark entities from Egypt. Can't make this stuff up. Like, it's just so
yeah, you're right. You can't.
So let me just I'm going to pull just one card about NASA.
I just wanted to say we got 75 people watching combined. That's between my channel, your channel, and Rumble. Because StreamYard just gives me a main total. So that's great that everybody's tuning in. Like, you know.
That. Okay, so I just pulled a card around NASA. They're wanting to create also like this whole thing. The other thing is that there's a lot of independents like Rob who will have live footage that day. So if it's clouded over and you want, just search around for something that resonates with you. But there's a lot of people out there that are just stargazers, and they will. I started watching them last year for one of the comets. So there are people out there just like Rob who just do, you know, footage, and they just let it run live of the events. so we can actually see the actual thing that's going on. So I wouldn't go to the official sites if you're going to watch anything online, okay? Because we have to remember the moon landing, right? Yeah, right? Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay, so I got the Hanged Man for them. So that's just sort of reaffirming that this is going to be like another story that's going to unfold around them, that's going to blow up in like not like officially, but it's going to like expose them for not being a truthful organization. And it's interesting. I also got the Knight of Wands, and there's the pyramids in the background. So Wands is about fire. It's about energy, which is what they're wanting to do. They're wanting to send something into the thing. By the way, we're also powerful enough to also, just as part of our intentions, say we don't want any of that to happen. So right, shut down CERN, shut down that, all of that. Like it's not for the highest. That's not for the highest good of humanity. Right?
Yeah.
Like we don't, and actually I started to giggle because I personally know that the Alliance teams and the Galactics, their technology far outweighs ours. So they shared that with me a number of years ago, which is why I became so calm about the movie, is that they can just disable something and like use a laser and dismantle anything that they want. So their prime directive is they're not supposed to interfere with the movie on a daily basis, but if they see anyone that's going to cause anything detrimental to Earth at this point, they will step in and stop it.
And a great example of that is for you guys that don't study like old school ufology or ufology. They already messed with our nukes at Maelstrom Air Force Base. They melted them. They made them. They turned them off. They melted them, and then they turned other ones on just to show that they could do it. Probably to show us that we were playing with fire. You know what I mean? And then like, but like they definitely melted the tips for sure. Like, that's it's old school ufology. Like Robert Salas talked about that kind of stuff. If you want to research it.
Yeah, and if we think about, many of us came and incarnated to be these boots on the ground starseeds Jedis because of the atomic testing that happened. What was that, early 50s? So when that happened, they're like, what are those crazy kids doing there on the planet? No, right? Like we've got a plan for this planet. So a bunch of us were sent in to be truthers, to wake up and to understand what was going on and see the bigger picture. And they also, I remember Dolores Cannon talking about that too. She's like, what are those crazy kids doing on the planet? No. Take that away from them. They don't have the button. They're not allowed to use the button anymore. So that's the kind of thing, like they're aware of the potential of things getting out of hand.
I agree 100%.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that if anybody has any other questions about that, we can look at it. But I wanted to look at it personally as well. I pulled some cards yesterday. I did a video about it as well, and I didn't get anything negative about it. I got that it was being handled, that it's a bunch, like why is there all this media and all this crazy stuff happening on that particular day? Right?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. What about what is up with this Devil's Comet? Is that going to intersect with the eclipse, or what's going on with that? It's like hurling towards us supposedly, like, I don't know.
Did you see the information that I just wrote you a little bit of information? Let me just see what I wrote to you.
I think you sent me a short on it. I wish I could show those shorts. Like,
I know, that's okay. I'll just. Oh, good. I can get your messages on my tablet, but for some reason I couldn't get it on my computer today. So it's actually called the official name for this comet is called the Pons Brooks, which I believe was the official person who saw it. It hasn't been in this our solar system for 71 years. So I looked back, and that's 1953. So I don't know if anybody is a historian, if y'all remember what happened in 1953. Was that when the atomic energy happened? I don't know. Right. So I'm not too sure what happened, but if we think about the early 50s, how different it is now. So the reason it got nicknamed the Devil's Comet, I believe last year, it's a different version of a comet. It kind of shoots off. I'm not an astronomer, but it shoots off different energy. It's volcanic, but it's cold. So it gets brighter It's like one of the ones that they're able to see quite often when it comes into our galaxy. And the reason they named it the Devil's Comet last year was because at one point somebody captures photos, and when it did a flash, it looked like it had horns. So somebody just nicknamed it that, but it's not really called that. It's actually called the Pons Brooks. But the other cool name, I thought, like there were lots of other photos, is it looks like the Millennium Falcon. I thought that was super cool. So that's what the other team,
cool.
They don't call it the Devil's Comet. They call it the Millennium Falcon Comet from Star Wars. So I thought that was super, super cool as well. So there is potential. Yeah, there is potential to see it around the eclipse. There's going to be a lot of when it starts to get twilight, there's going to be a lot of other planets that are going to be visible, including Jupiter, Venus, etc. But there's a potential to see the comet that day, but not necessarily. They're saying it's probably going to be even clearer to see it around the 21st of April. So that's diffusing the name the Devil's Comet, because that's not really what it's called. I thought that was hilarious. So, but it's interesting, right? Because then everyone's going to take that name and run with it and say, see, it's a prophecy, right? About all of this. Well, kind of in a way, and we may or may not see it. You might even get some footage of it, which would be super cool. Right?
I'd love to see if after this eclipse, I mentioned this to Derek earlier. When I texted him, I said I'd love to see after this eclipse that there's more Mandela effects that pop up, because that would show that there's been more changes in the timeline.
Absolutely, I think we need to pay attention to that, and we can talk about that in like 2 weeks from now, because I believe that, because that's what happened in the eclipse in 2017, and we were just starting to talk about it back then. I just started to listen to people that were just talking about the Mandela effect back then. And I didn't even really remember. I don't say understand. We're all remembering our abilities, but I didn't even understand about quantum timelines or jumping or anything back at that point. I just started to remember about it. So yeah, I think there's going to be lots of glitches in the matrix after that. So we'll have to compare notes. Maybe Ed McMahon's footage will come back.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, Ed McMahon. He tried to. He even made a video saying that he did that. That he was like those. He was bringing those checks to people's houses. Like yes. I don't see anybody that doesn't know that. You know what I mean? And
I know. Yeah.
Someone else found.
The younger generations wouldn't know, because they wouldn't know who Ed McMahon was, because the Johnny Carson show is off the air. He's there.
Yeah.
Right. So all of that stuff, like from the 70s and early 80s, is being wiped, and we're the memories. We're carrying that forward with us. So unless somebody's blogging about it or researching and sharing old footage, like, it's gone, and they just want it to be gone. Yeah, they just want it to be gone.
Someone found that the evidence of the fruit of the loom cornucopia too. They said that there wasn't a cornucopia, but those of us who had fruit of the loom underwear when we were kids knew that there was a cornucopia on it. Like, it's just always been there, and it's like stuff like that. Like someone wrote in the chat, Halley's Comet. It was Halley's Comet. Now it's Halley's Comet. It's like,
no, I remember it being Halley's Comet, because I remember they made a big deal about wasn't there a group, Bob Haley and the Comets? Yeah, like that's what they named
Bill Haley and the Comet.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bill. Yeah, so there was an actual group named after the comet. That's how I remembered it. Right. Yeah. And that was already planting that seed of pay attention to the skies, pay attention to the stars. Like, there's really cool information. And that's the thing with the sun. I started to notice changes in the sun when I started to sun gaze, like, at 2012-13. And by the way, everyone, I hardly wear sunglasses, because that's another thing they always want us to be blocking our eyes and be afraid of the sun and that sort of thing. I mean, I'm not going to be looking. If I'm driving, I'm going to wear them, but I try not to wear them. I try to get my eyes to just adjust to the light, because we're receiving light. We're receiving our activations. We're we're decalcifying our pineal and pituitary glands. So but what I want to share with you all, and I'll send a photo to Rob. I just took a natural photo of the sun about a month ago, and I didn't zoom in. It was huge. And I was like, why is it so big? And then that's when I started to get the messages, like, there's something behind it. There's something behind it. So how can the sun change? Well, that's when we start to realize, like, we're in this, how do we want to word it? Like, we're in the Matrix, but it's like it's like the movie The Matrix, where they can manipulate our reality and change things.
Yeah.
So they can even change the shape of the sun. They can change, put the moon over there, and
Well,
sometimes.
one guy, the guy that I had on my show recently, I had Brian Stavely from he's on from the Dose of One reality channel. He seems to think that the Mandela effect's like an act of like a supernatural act of God, because like there's been physiological effects of the Mandela effect too.
Yeah.
Like our kidneys used to be down here, and I told him I knew about this because I was in martial arts, and when you threw a punch to the kidneys, it would debilitate someone, right? Now the kidneys are up under the ribs. So when you threw the kidney punch before, you never threw it up under the ribs. You threw it down here to like the fatty part of the lower fatty part of the back. That's where the kidneys were. Now they're saying they're up under the ribs. And also our heart has moved as well. Our heart used to be a little bit more, I think it was left center. Now it's more center. So it's strange. It's bizarre, the things that are happening.
Well, I do know that our bodies are, that's what they always shared, that our bodies would change. And of course, we haven't been paying attention. We've been all so busy, we haven't had time to pay attention to it. But our bodies are like literally expanding and changing at an atomic and DNA level. So, as we're aging, we change anyway. So we probably all haven't been paying attention to it. But I swear, I looked at my ears like a week ago, and I thought, oh my God, they're looking more like Spock ears. Like they were before. So we
got a question from the audience where Sheba wants to know if you've heard anything more about Kate Middleton. And then someone said that was a good question. So do you know anything more about Kate Middleton? Who's Kate Middleton? Why do I not know that name? Or is that
it's okay? We talked about it a couple weeks ago. So the heir to the throne. So we have we had Queen Elizabeth. She's gone. King Charles is now the head of the throne. But once he transitions, his son, Prince William, will be king. And his wife is Kate Middleton. So she's Princess of Wales right now, but she's potentially going to be the queen. So she has been missing in action since December 25th. So all the normies are going, where's Kate Middleton? Where's Kate Middleton? So let's see what they did. They released 3 photos that were fake, photoshopped, AI related. Then to cover their tracks, there was a video that was released. It's so interesting that Sheba brought that up, because I was going to put as a talk today. There was a video that was released a couple of weeks ago, and I knew right away it was AI generated. I knew right away it was green screened. Like I didn't even have to go and run it through programs, but all the techies out there grabbed it and started running it through these programs, and it's not real. And they actually don't even think that that's her, even in front of the green screen. And the deep fakes are getting so good right now that nobody, like, this is another thing that has taken over. Like they'll piece all this stuff together and they'll do a release. And we have to start understanding that that's part of the movie. A lot of the stuff that they're giving us is fake. So in other words, let's pull some cards about her, but I still don't see the real Kate. I haven't seen her. Shows she's still been missing since December 25th, 2023.
I wonder if when she comes back, they'll have her replaced with like a clone body or something like that. That would be strange, right? That would be
the thing is, apparently all of these higher ups, including the politicians, have body doubles. They all have quite a few of them, including people in the entertainment industry. So apparently the royals too. So there's been that was the other thing. They put some footage out saying that it was her at a garden shop. No, it wasn't her. It wasn't even a good body double. It was bad. Like I was thinking, wow, they really think everybody's asleep. This is so bad. So, oh my goodness gracious. So, okay. I did a deep dive on my Rumble channel. You guys can check it out. And I already got that, even the version that I haven't been paying attention to the royals. I haven't even looked at it till the last couple of weeks, but apparently even the version that we saw last year was a clone already. So a lot of the people that we see in the movie have already been replaced. And then we might have to do a show just on clones, Rob, because I'm wondering if clones even know that they're clones. I don't think that they do.
Wow.
I think that they've been downloaded with all the information and they just kind of move along as if they are that person. They wouldn't know any different until they start glitching out. So, okay. So we got 3 9s for her, which adds up to 9. 9, suffering in silence. 9, fulfillment of wishes. And 9, solitude. And then we the overall message is number 1, awareness. So, and it's interesting because of course there she is, right? So Okay. I want to pull some clarifiers because I want it before.
Renee Cruz is in the audience. She's belting out a bunch of Mandela effects. While you're pulling the cards, I'll read some of these. This is
Yes,
funny.
please do.
She says I put up on the screen, but it's a lot. She says Black Sabbath. We sold our souls for rock and roll. Just turned into we sold our soul singular to rock and roll. WTF? So I dug out my 1976 shirt. She says, and it freaking changed. Oh my God, what the hell? And then she says Mandela effects. Sorcerers of Death construction, sorcerer, what the F, to tell us all that 64,000 heavy metal kids singing in the audience at the Shoreline Amphitheater, Ozfest 2005. So she's found, and then she says she has the Fruit of the Loom cornucopia. You know,
So it's hard. This is another part of our expansion, but like the movie The Matrix, we are living I feel we are living in a way. I don't know how to explain it properly, but it is a simulation. It is a technical simulation, which means that the beings that are in charge of the simulation can change anything that they want as well. So I feel like
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. So I feel like that's part of the battle, right? I feel like that's part of the battle of like, that's why Earth is so important to so many beings. So I do feel, I call it prime source or the universe or whatever. I do feel the instructions for us moving forward and elevating to a better version of ourselves on Earth is coming from prime source. Yeah. So I feel like whatever's been unfolding down on this planet, like prime source gave the directive, like, let's send in help now and let's start shifting this planet back to what it belongs, how it's supposed to be. Okay. So she was suffering in silence. And then I got the Hermit card, which is the star Galactic. So they were very aware. She's a very important part of the movie. So even her vanishing right now. So what happens with the Mandela effect, if they tell us she never existed? Right? Like, no, William's been single. Like, they could come up with all sorts of stuff, or they could say that she's already gone. Like, that's the thing, right? We don't really know, like, officially what happened in the story. This one is actually about her kids. So I feel like whether it was the real version of her or whether it was the clone version, she wanted out of the movie and she was asked to leave it in December. So she's no longer around. She had great anxiety. So there's that card again. And she is like, but the good news is, like, there's the 10 of Pentacles in celebration. So whatever version she is, she's actually on, like, she's gone over to Team Light and she's probably exposed a lot of information, but her and the kids right now are protected. But there's been no sightings. So you all will know when there's been a sighting of her because I talk about it. But yeah, that last video that came out was not her. It was AI. It was a deep fake.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's potentially, so if we think about it, I mean, maybe the royals aren't so big for all of us in North America as they once were, when Princess Diana was alive, but it's unusual for a member of the royal family who's out there doing stuff all the time to not be seen. Like, this is the 4th month now that she hasn't been seen. So to me, like, she's gone.
It's interesting. That's interesting.
So she's going to be part of the Mandela effect. And the reason I started talking about the royals and looking into it, my higher self told me to, is because their fingers are in everything. They're in all the pies, right? They're in all the pies. Like, they're in the finances and the owning the property, and we just did a big grid work piece for London. And part of what we did was I was like, oh my God, are there still dungeons? Sure enough, we were asked to help release people and energies that were still trapped. Like, that's the weird thing. Like, they've been showing us that they're this modern family, but a lot of the original practices they continued on with, as we all know. There's some dark stuff, lots of dark stuff. Yeah. So anyway.
So we've been going about 53 minutes. Did you want to do a couple personal readings?
Yeah.
We have two. We have one that lady who sent me the small cash app, and then the Andromedan sent a super chat. So but I guess we could do the lady first. Her name is what is her name?
Oh, I wrote it down. Oh, I was just going to ask you. I just pulled a couple of cards for us, a collective reading for the solar eclipse. So maybe I'll just do that. Fix on you,
Yeah, that's
Kathleen,
fine.
and then I'll yeah, okay. So I just pulled some cards for all of us just to see any other information that we all need. So the eclipse will be next Monday, and I wish everybody a great eclipse. So let's see what came up. Now this is interesting. I got the Thoth light codes, which we talked about last time, but right away I got there's the whole downfall of Atlantis, which is where Thoth was the great master. The Emerald Tablets came from that. All of that. The whole point of this culmination on the 8th, I feel like it is a natural timeline collapse where a lot of the old timelines are going to get like released from our reality. And the message on the card is it's a light initiation for great awakening. Okay. And then we got the green dragon, which is like if you all are feeling stressed or anxiety, nature, feet on the ground, hang out with the trees, breathe in and stay present, and don't sweat it. All right. The next message, I think this came in last time too. A lot of important information is being downloaded for all of us. Wounds are healing. We're recharging. And look at this. I love this card. Look at all of that light coming to Earth. Star seed healing codes, right? So we have a potential, and even if you're busy that day and you're out enjoying the energy, you're still going to receive that night or sleeping. It's moving us into another frequency. And then we got Archangel Gabriel's dragon bringing in purification. So right away, I'm getting the message of the reason this eclipse is so big, because it's not just a regular eclipse. It's come in to help clear out the gunk. It's come in to assist us as a collective, to help us all, right? I feel like in a way, we can talk about the solar flash another time. I don't feel the solar flash is going to happen the way we were all originally thinking. I think it's being split up now into little bursts so we can kind of catch up. And this is a big burst. This on the 8th is a big burst of energy to come in and assist us. Then the final message we got was the violet flame. So use something to, sage, Palo Santo, clear your energy, clear your space. Make sure you're using something like the violet flame around your energy if you are going to be out, and it's like to help you transmute, anything that's kind of flying around. And we've got Kuan Yin. I love this. It's all about a reset. We got Kuan Yin's pink dragon, and I've been working with Kuan Yin a lot lately. Her and her dragons she's a warrior, and it's all about karmic reset. So the whole idea of this eclipse is to help us have a fresh start and move into a higher frequency and timeline. Okay.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, I think it's all happening for the better. I think, and I'm looking forward to like our evolution and better things coming up for humanity. You know what I mean? I'm not going to feed into the fear, and I think that was like a kind of a theme for today.
And if we all could press the button and have us all move into this timeline where everything was fixed right away, of course, that's what we would want. But how about if we just set the intention of we're all going to be moved into this timeline where things are going to be fixed, right? Where poverty is going to be demolished, where everyone is going to have food and water, where abundance is for everyone, because that's our divine right, and where all the dark ones get kicked out. That we don't have to make it so complicated, for sure.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. So do we want to do that reading for?
Oh, yeah. It's Kathleen Haley, and she wanted a twin flame reading. She says, for twin flame reading, if possible, am I married to them now? She says.
Oh, okay. That helps. That helps. So I'm going to just ask for Kathleen's quantum records to come in, her higher self, and information about her and her marriage, her partner. I'll just pull the cards and then well, you two definitely know each other from the Orion system. So you came in to, and in a way, this kind of is a twin flame. I always used to talk about stars colliding, right? So the Orion activation supernova, which is a supernova, renewal and rebirth by the light. So you both knew each other in the Orion system, and you agreed to meet here. You also have like karma with each other as well. So some souls don't believe that twin flames have karma. Actually, twin flames have a lot of karma because they're clearing out lifetimes of interference. So this one says ancestral and karmic release. You're both healing the lineage and you're learning so much from each other, like boundaries. Then you receive the I am presence. This is also, so the twin flame, this says light body activation. and being pushed to go within. So the twin flame journey is ever so intense, because it literally is every single molecule of your beings get reflected back to each other to push you to go within, to find the divine within. And it's not always smooth sailing. As a matter of fact, most times it is tumultuous, for sure. So let me just pull a couple other cards for you, and then I'll pull dragon message for you and just see if there's anything else. Yeah, you also knew each other either in Atlantis or Lemuria. It just says lost lands. So yeah, that to me feels very twin flamish. I like to call them divine unions now, because I find that the twin flame term has kind of been saturated. You're healing and clearing a lot in your Akashic records connected to the marriage, to your union. And that I like personally, when I was on that journey, it elevated me to this. So it's like it fast tracked. So you think about those board games, it fast tracked me from here all the way to here, but it was very intense as well. So you also got something called the crumbling. So there might be, like, you might both be going through really, really deep personal transformation right now, and it might not be going as smoothly as you want. But if it is, fantastic. Yeah. Let's just pull one more card. Keepers of the Earth. So both of you were called to come and be here on Earth at this time and be part of this team of light, which is so beautiful. So yeah, hopefully that assists you.
I hope that resonates with you, Kathleen. That's amazing. We just have two more questions. This is from one's from the Andromedan, and then one's from the Sheba. Well, let's do the Andromedan first, because I know he gets impatient. Like he says, "Hi, Pink Bell. Any messages for me?" Thanks for the donation.
Thank you, Andromedan. I'm gonna check out and see right now what wants to come in for you. I just received a message, so I'm going to just share this. It's the Andromedan galaxy right now is on clear nights is very easily for us to see. Like there was an astronomer, I can't even talk. Whatever the word is for people that go out and study the stars and film UFOs and all of that. There was somebody that just recently transitioned, very young. He was like 35, 36. So I've been following him on Instagram, and I just went through some of his previous posts in the last couple of months. And this guy's he was in Turkey, and this guy's are so clear. And I thought about you right away, the Andromedan, because the Andromedan galaxy is so visual right now.
That's cool.
Which is really, really cool. So, like we have more glimpses of our homeland, right? And that's also proof that it's getting closer to our galaxy as well. We're re-merging with the Andromedan galaxy. Okay, so you are absolutely okay. So the bottom of the deck for the Andromedas, you are like you got the Sword of Lights. You're absolutely a Jedi. Like you also got the Orion activation, which is where the Galactic Wars, where we all have like a lot of memories and traumas from, right? But you're a Jedi. So you are on the team of light. You are supposed to be here. You are supposed to be like this warrior. Remembering more of who you are and why you came. And the Arcturians came in as well. So when the Arcturians come in, this is always like we're from the future. We're from a future timeline to come back to now to make sure that everything flows the way it does. So some of your missions, all of you, is just to be at a high frequency. And that's like a drop in the water that changes everything. So being at a high frequency and even carrying the light and being like these Jedi warriors for your area, for your cities, your towns, is actually helping the planet and helping the whole as well. Okay. Got inner earth as well. So I think part of the message they want me to share with you is that and this goes for all star season light workers, the remembering about what's been going on under the earth has been very traumatic for all of us. Knowing that there were the tunnels, the children, all of that. Like it's been very, very traumatic for all of us. And you've known about that. And I feel like that's been part of like, it's been difficult for you to want to stay here, but it's brought you strength and courage as well. And we've all needed that. Like I had to get through all of that as well. I didn't want to look at that for years, but that's part of what we came in to help clean up. So thank you for being here.
That's amazing. And we just have one more. I don't know if this is necessarily a reading. This is from Sheba. She just wants to know. Remember, she had that person draw on her TV. Well, not person. She had an entity draw on her TV, and we got
Oh,
she's
that's right.
and she has the abduction marks on her hands. Well, now she has something. She says She says, "How do you know who pushed 2 times beside my leg?" Thank
Was
you.
that Sheba? Was that just like was that today?
I'm guessing it was maybe during like a dream or not. I know not a dream, but like
I've had that
maybe
happen.
during a
I've had
sleep.
that happen before, and I'm gonna pull some cards for you. But I actually, that's not allowed. So what it does is it pushes us into who are you? You're not welcome in my space. So if anyone goes through an experience like this, like Sheba, you sage your home and call in your security team and kick them out. And by security team, I mean the dragons as well. So
Yeah.
to me, when something like this happens, it's like, no, you're not allowed to be here. Like you're not allowed to do that. And I have had that happen before, and it freaked me out because I didn't have the knowledge that I have now. So yeah. So anyway, I don't know if she wrote when it happened, but we'll just see what wants to come in. Okay, so we got the Temple of the Truth, the throat chakra. So it was an experience for you to understand more about your reality. Oh, a couple days ago. Okay. Well, this is a good point. Oh, you were laying in bed. Okay. Okay. So this is a good point. So it was to allow you for more truth to come forward for you. And what I want to share with you, Sheba, is the theme with my clients. And like, it's like they sent out the flying monkeys in February, the dark team. It's like, what can we do to irritate all the starseeds and light workers so they'll all just crawl back under their covers and not do anything? So I know I've had that before too. I've had some kind of I'm going to say it's an entity, and you're being called to raise your frequency and clear out your space and seal it up, and just ask them to go, and then call on whoever you need to call on them to leave. So I live in a multi-level, many apartments complex, and part of my role has been to learn that, like seal off my space from all the other spaces. But I also work with the dragons to clear out the whole building and the complex, because that's like, I don't want any of that energy in here, of course, for the highest good. But that's part of our Jedi training right now. Okay, so you got that. So that's just to let you know that there's a leak in your current security that you want to work on. You got the Emerald Tablet activation, but what's interesting is the message is cosmic ordering. So this is a good point to bring up. Like, we all have teams. We all have, they're just letting me know we all have security teams. And if you all didn't know that, you do. And you can invoke and ask. I go to source and say, bring me in a security team. I just had to ramp up to a higher security team for Mercury retrograde. So because Mercury retrograde, which we're in right now till about the 24th, 25th of April, kind of moves us into this weird timeline glitchy thing, this weird matrixy thing, where we're going to be all over the place, and it's going to show us where we have leaks in our security. Some people say we don't need security. Well, we haven't won the planet yet. So I would say, especially if you live in a city, you're going to need work on some kind of security. So if the message is cosmic ordering, so with whatever you align with, whether it's, prime source, the universe, your higher self, work with that energy and just say, I'm worthy of having a better security system. Like, I don't want that. That's not acceptable. And then you also got, like, for the eclipse, you got Shambhala initiation, which is to retreat and recharge at this time as well.
This is an interesting. Renee Cruz is a very interesting person. She says, by the way, Sally Fields, aka Sally Field, now with the Mandela Effect brother, is the CERN Super Large Hadron Collider Mandela Effect scientist. And Sally, when visiting her bro's work facility, says it's like visiting another planet. Hint, hint. And she followed up with, she said she was in a parallel Earth dimension. I love that. That's interesting.
So is Sally Fields like the actress, or is that somebody who worked at the CERN?
It's the actress.
Oh,
but she's saying like her brother works for CERN,
Oh, okay. So she's gone from fields to field. I didn't even notice that. Like, good catching, everyone. I had no idea. So I do, like, I feel like that's what CERN's all about, is creating these parallel realities. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to create black holes. My understanding is that since they've cranked it up, which I believe has been 2008, that they've been messing with our timelines. that they've been trying to prevent us. Like, so all of this that's happening right now is trying to prevent us from awakening and remembering and having our abilities and slowing down the timelines, like giving them more time. But I'll just share what I shared earlier, is that the Galactics have it under control, and they're like, nope, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
Well, this has been an amazing show. Do you want to tell everybody where they can find you? And thank you so much for doing this. This is awesome. I love these shows we do. They're fun. They're so much fun, really.
Yeah, thank you for having me today. Yeah, everyone, if you want to get a hold of me, information's in the description box. Email is the best way. And yeah, check out what's on offer this month. Super cool things, including Jedi training and working with the dragons and all sorts of fun stuff like that. So.
All right, guys. Well, I have another show tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern in an hour and a half. And then in between that, I got to do this I'm doing this liver flush tonight. So like, I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm going to try it and see if it works, see if it helps me any. So, we'll see what happens.
We can report back on the next show. So
I'll let you guys know how it goes. And all right, I'll see you guys in a little bit. And thank you, Pink Bella, and take care, everybody. And until next time.
Everyone. Bye.
Have a good